I'm out at the Shop Rat Foundation's new classroom, and it's more than just a classroom. I was picturing not quite this, Rachel. I'm with Rachel, Program Director, and Lead Manufacturing Teacher Brian. It's just amazing out here, and we're getting ready. Tonight is Intro to Manufacturing class, but Rachel, I'll start with you. You've been a part of the Shop Rat Foundation since you were just 16 years old, and now here you are, Program Director. Talk a little bit about finding your passion in manufacturing so young. And now look at what you're doing, giving back to those same kids.
Oh, for sure. Well, my passion started more with woodworking, construction. I knew Chris Salo as a child growing up. My dad introduced us, and when I heard about the Shop Rat Foundation and the things that they were doing, I got really excited. I actually wanted to be a student. A little too old to be a student. I kind of stuck around as an instructor, as assistant for a couple of years, and kind of moved my way up from there. And then I kind of learned new skills as I went. So as the students are learning, I'm learning too. So it's been a lot of fun.
And Brian, talk a little bit about your background and what led you to becoming an instructor here.
Yeah, I started with the Career Center in 11th grade, did the Jack 3 program, and my last day I said, I'm going to miss this place. And my instructor said, I'm going to give you a business card, and it was Kelly's business card, and that's how I got started with them in 2016, and I've been part-time, and then back in August, I became full-time, and now we're in a bunch of different schools and after school as well.
That's awesome. And you have this new classroom space that's just great for the students, but it's great for you guys as well. Talk about what it's allowed you guys to do thus far, even though it's pretty brand new.
Right. So we've been in this space for about 2 years now. But previously, we were hosted in some of our sponsors hosted us in their shops, and so we'd get a little corner of somebody's space, and we were able to facilitate once or twice a week for our evening classes. But having our own spaces enabled us to have multiple classes every single day. We have students that come in during the day even that get bused here. We partner with schools to bring the students here, so we're not traveling out as much. So we're just able to reach more students having the space, and then having a space to store our equipment. We can get more equipment, so we're not taking up so much of other people's donated space. So this has been great.
What are some of the things, some of the trades that kids can take classes on here?
So the classes that we teach here include Intro to Manufacturing, like we're going to see tonight, which covers welding, machining, circuitry, electrical, and engineering and drafting. But we also teach an Intro to Building Trades as well, which a little bit of everything in that too. So anything that ties into the building trade, so framing, electrical, drywall, things like that. Brian works with a team that goes in schools, and they teach robotics and a ton of STEM stuff. So those are some other things that we include here as well. So everything that's included in our curriculum we can teach here.
That's awesome. Brian, tell me a little bit about what Intro to Manufacturing is like, what you have the students do, and kind of what you're preparing them for.
So for intro, it's an introduction, right? So what we try to do is just cover a little bit of each process. So behind us we have a metal lathe that they'll start out on. They will then do a secondary process on a milling machine, but it's not something in-depth, it's something to kind of get them hooked. So tonight we'll be working on a screwdriver project, just making a flathead screwdriver.
What are these kids asking, and maybe what are you telling them about manufacturing in Jackson County?
Well, there's like 240 some manufacturers in Jackson County, so it's a really good trade to get into, and so that's really that's why we're here and why we push it.
And I'll ask you the same question because this is your passion, helping these manufacturers find good candidates and vice versa, and it seems to be working really, really well.
It does. So a lot of these students do well in an outside of a classroom experience. So sitting in a classroom all day is great for some students. Mm-hmm. Some of them are very hands-on learners. They need to get up and move around. So applying some of the same like mathematical and scientific mm-hmm. principles that they would in a classroom, they can do here, like precision measurement. So some of the students don't understand fractions and decimals and metric until they come here and learn on some of our equipment. So that's been great as well. But really connecting the students to their skills, what they're good at, what their passions are, that's huge.
If students are interested, or maybe there's some businesses out there that love what you're doing and want to support, what's the best way to either sign up for class or get a hold of you guys?
Well, check out our website. I think that's the biggest thing, shoprat.org. All of our upcoming classes are posted on there. More information about our program, ways to sponsor, ways to support, ways to volunteer. There's a ton of information on our website, so I would suggest going there.
Brian, what would you tell a student, maybe like looking back at yourself when you were in 11th grade starting this, what would you tell a potential student about taking some classes or getting involved in STEM, robotics, manufacturing?
I would say take as many classes as you can. That doesn't necessarily have to be college. You know, a lot of these kids aren't going to go to college, and that's perfectly okay. But as many of these classes that are kind of directed at what they want to learn, as many of those classes as possible.
We're outside in the shop at the Shop Rat classroom. I'm with George, one of the students, and tonight is Intro to Manufacturing. George, tell me, how long have you been taking classes here, and what have you learned so far?
This is our second to last week of this class, and we have done soldering. We made a radio that works, and then we've started welding.
What do you think you want to do when you're older? Do you think you want to do something like this, or are you just learning all you can?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I'm trying to learn all I can so I can pick up a profession later.
Are you learning some of this so you can help your dad around the house do projects so he doesn't have to pay a tradesman?
Yep.
Tell me some of the things you've been able to learn so far in class. What have you guys done?
We've tack welded. As you can see, we were going to do some of that today. We've soldered.
What is tack welding?
It's a weld that secures joints together. And it's not an overall weld that will hold it forever, but it just secures them so we can go over and hold it all together.
What else have you done?
We've soldered. We made a radio. And that's soldering wires to a board that will eventually submit signals.
Is this the first time you've taken a class out here?
Yes, actually.
Do you think you're going to do it again?
Yeah, it'll be quite fun. I'm going to take the second welding class.
What would you say to a middle schooler who is thinking about taking this class? Would you recommend it?
Yes, it's lots of fun.
Here with Cruz, 7th grader from Grass Lake, who has made his way here to the Shop Rat class. This is Intro to Manufacturing. Tell me a little bit about what you like about taking classes here, Cruz.
It's really fun that we can like machine and weld. Like you can like make friends here easily. People who have like the same things that you want to do.
Have you found yourself working together pretty good with a lot of the classes?
Yes, we really have.
Is this the first class that you've taken here?
Yeah,
Do you plan on taking some more?
probably.
What do you think you'd like to do when you're older? Do you think you'd like to get into manufacturing, one of the trades? What do you think you'd like to do?
I would think I would like to do welding because my dad told me that they make a lot of money.
It's very true.
When we weld, we using electrical, so like when we hit the metal, there's sparks all over the place, like over there, and then it could really hurt. We need to wear this because if we see with our regular eyes, we will get burns in our retina. So yeah,
Awesome. Is this heavy or pretty lightweight or what's?
depends on what kind it is. This is pretty light right now.
So do you think you'd like to maybe get one of your own one of these and set up and do some welding at home as you get older?
Yes, I would really like that.
I'm here with Adela, one of the students, and Adela, tell me a little bit about what you've been doing out here the last 6 or 7 weeks.
Welding mostly, and also soldering. We made a radio a few weeks ago. That was pretty fun.
What do you like about this class? And let me ask you, how'd you hear about it? How did you decide you wanted to take it?
Well, my parents asked me, and my family has a company, a manufacturing company, so I was like, all right, family company, I could learn about it a little bit.
That's very good. I'm sure that makes your family proud. Have they asked you to help around the company yet?
Not really.
They probably want you to learn a little bit more first.
Yeah,
Do you think you'd like to go work at the family company someday?
maybe.
What have you enjoyed the most so far? What have you learned? What have you enjoyed that you've learned out here?
Just a variety of things that most people can't learn.
What would you say to a young, maybe 4th or 5th grader that could have an opportunity when they're in middle school to take this class?
I'd say they should take it as soon as they get the chance.